And welcome back to this course. Before we customize the HTML elements and the CSS files, first we need to install the Bootstrap um, on our project. So npm install Bootstrap. Okay, so the Bootstrap is successfully installed, and in our angular.json, we will add a script in here, which is this node module slash bootstrap slash dist slash js slash bootstrap.bundle.js. And after installing um, the bootstrap on our project, I will generate or create a service ng generate service and call it my dash data. Basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add the method that we created in here in our service and dependency injection lecture. So in our constructor, what I will do is I will inject the private HTTP client, then save it. And then as you can see, you can still see an error in here because in our app module.ts, the HTTP client is still not imported. So in here, I'm just gonna type in HTTP client module, and then um, it should be from at angular slash common slash HTTP. I'm receiving a error because of this dot. It should be at. Okay. Then I'm gonna save it and add it to our imports array. Then save it. And then in my data.service, I'm just gonna click quick fix, and it's gonna automatically add the HTTP client module in our service file. And then going back to our service file, I'm now gonna create a method called getData, and this will return the API that we're going to use, where it's gonna be https rest countries.com slash v2 slash all fields is equals to name, region, and area. Okay, and for that, we now have a way to access our API and to get the JSON data on it. And then for after that, afterwards, we are now I'm going to proceed on creating our sidebar. And for our sidebar, what we're going to do here is I'm gonna remove all of this and then create a nav. Maybe it's gonna be easier if it's gonna be like that. Okay. Then create a div with a class of container, and create a div again with a class of row. And then I'm gonna create a div with a bootstrap class. It's going to be column, and then edit the class align self start float left. And then I'm gonna create another div with a class of logo center for our logo. And inside our logo, I'm gonna create a image tag on it with a class of the flex img thumbnail rounded circle. Okay, and then you can add any picture that you want or any logo that you want in here. For now, I'm just gonna leave it blank, and then afterwards, after our div tag for our logo, I'm now gonna create a div with a class of text center. Then save it. Then create a header tag with a name on it. Let's just put countries. Then save it. Then afterwards, after this text center div, I'm gonna create a div with a bootstrap class of d dash grid gap of 2 column 11. The margin at the x-axis is auto, the margin at top is 4, and the id is equals to the button of our container. This is for the buttons that we're going to make and we're going to use later. And then for this, we're gonna create a button tag with a class of button light, and it's going to have an ID. The type is going to be button. The router link, I will explain router link later, but for now, let's just keep it blank as it is. And then we will add a click click event in here where it's just gonna be null for now. Um, Maybe we can remove this because it's giving us an error, but we will add that later. And then after that, we're just gonna copy and paste this, and this is like going to be the buttons for this area, name, and region. So let's create another 2 buttons. Let's just keep it that way for now. And then we can name this button to be much easier to access and to look at it much easier in a better way. So let's put this first as a name of the country to give us an idea that this button is for the name of the country, for the area of the country, and for the region of the country. And then save it. And then afterwards, we're just gonna keep it that way for now. And let's run our server and check how it looks. Okay, now the server is up and running. I'm gonna access that link. And for this one, as of now, it's going to give us the default page um for the path that we set up if the path is null. So let's check. Okay, it's working. But what we can do here is here in our area.country.html, let's try to add the sidebar, app dash sidebar, and let's see and how it looks. And we're gonna save it for now. It's going to be in the area country. Then if we can see it, if we can access again our area, our path for the area. Oh, this is a wrong web. Sorry. Then if we access our area, it's going to give us the sidebar component that we made, but basically it's still not perfectly aligned because we still need to add the CSS for it. So that's how on you edit or apply the sidebar. The way I'm doing it so that every component will have a sidebar is I'm just creating a component for the sidebar and then use this app dash sidebar for every component that's existing in my Angular project. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this and then paste it in here again. Then just put a simple paragraph in here so that I can differentiate that that's the component for the name. For this is the area. And then for this, it's going to be the region. So I'm just gonna create a p tag and it's gonna be region. Okay. And then if we go back in here, I'm gonna save it. The area is there. The sidebar also exists in the name, and the sidebar also exists in the region page. For the next video, I'm going to add a CSS for our sidebar, and it's going to look much better than it is right now. Thank you for watching this video and see you on the next demo.